Speak it into existence. When I look at the title, Speaking It Into Existence, there are a few words that automatically jump out at me. Persistence, dedication, ambition, preparation, confidence, focus, failure, and commitment. There was this dude that came up with this term called stick-to-itiveness, which simply meant to stick to something until you achieve the end result. In other words, be persistent. His name was Walt Disney. Disney, known as one of the greatest entrepreneurs in American history, gave us so many quotes of optimism and hope that he was among my earliest role models. Disney was a shy, self-deprecating, and insecure man in private, but adopted a warm, outgoing public persona. I valued those crazy words he came up with that would eventually make their way into dictionaries worldwide. Even today, I apply Disney's principles to how I live my life. This is how I arrived at this thing called persistence. If you want it, you've got to be dedicated to the cause. In the words of the late Jim Valvano, NC State's basketball coach, never give up. No matter the obstacles perceived or not, you've got to push through the demons that tells you that it can't be done. These demons are always right there, quick to tell you, why do you think you can do this? The moment you speak it into existence, this other voice comes right on the scene and tells you, hell no, you can't. It's one of those negative words called doubt. Doubt has turned many would-be doctors, lawyers, engineers, and accountants into something they really never wanted to be. You gotta shake off that demon and know that the way to get started is to quit talking and begin doing. Disney. Ambition is something that has driven me my entire life. I may not have much in this world, but I do have ambition, and I am unabashedly proud of it. Many people think it is wrong to want it all. I can't fathom not wanting it all. I always felt this is one of those things that make life worth living for. I remember when I got married and my mother-in-law asked me what were my plans. I told her simply, I want to become a millionaire. I meant it. I did not know how, but I knew this was something I would fight for. I'm not that millionaire yet, so don't come asking me for my money, please. Now, my goals are much higher. I put no limits on my ambition. Prepare yourself by educating yourself. When I grew up in Memphis, there were not many challenging careers I knew about. There was this single lady that lived 2 houses from mine, named Miss Hattie Mae. In the summer, she would always ask me to come up to her house and just talk to her about my dreams, my goals, and aspirations. We would spend many hours sitting on her porch in the heat of a summer's eve, just talking. I would tell her of all the places I wanted to go and what I wanted to be. She would ask me, how are you preparing to do all of this? That always stuck with me. So I began to prepare myself for this lifelong journey through finding out what it would take to be what I wanted to be. Confidence is something that you can't lack. You have to envision that goal and know beyond a shadow of a doubt that you can do it. I think the one thing that attracted Rose to me was confidence in myself that I could accomplish anything. She would always ask me, is there anything you feel you can accomplish, while rolling her eyes. My life experiences have shaped me to know I am supremely confident in what I tell you I can do. If I know I can't do it, I will never say I can. Now, it may take me years to accomplish it or just a few seconds, but confidence would be something that drives the energy and faith I have in myself. From my first walk onto a stage to sing a song in elementary school to my last patent, my cumulative experiences have given me the faith to know nothing is impossible if you stay focused on achieving that goal. Although I stuttered a lot as a kid and people thought I was mentally retarded, what they did not know was the countless hours I had practiced singing alone. Having come from a musical family, I knew notes and tones from as early as 4 years old. I knew I could sing when others thought I could not talk. I was gifted in that way. Even today, it would not be unheard of me blowing the roof off my house, singing some classic opera tune that Andrea Bocelli may seem. And yes, focus. The lack of focus is one of those things that could take you off course, and you may never right that ship. You're human, and the temptations that plague you on a daily basis may take you in a totally different direction than what you intended. There's this movie called The Book of Eli, where this guy survives the nuclear blast of this world, and a voice tells him to go west. He finds the only remaining Bible and reads it cover to cover, learning every passage in the good book. He is called by God for this task. Along the way, he is tempted and challenged. He goes through many trials and tribulations that a scorched earth would offer. He's been beaten, shot, and bruised, but yet he remains steadfast and focused to accomplish this goal, to win the race, so to speak. There's this one villain that wants the Bible too, to control the people. So this villain sends his henchmen out to kill Eli and get the book. Needless to say, Eli gets to the final destination, quotes the Bible word for word, and dies ascending to the heavens. I think I watched this movie about 50 times at this point. Obviously, it's one of my favorites. But the movie teaches about staying the course through all circumstances, even though I am not much of a praying man. Psalms 23 gives me comfort in my moments of doubt. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He makes me lie down in green pastures. He leads me beside the still water. He restores my soul. He leads me on the path of righteousness for his name's sake. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for thine are with me. Your rod and your staff, they comfort me. You prepare a table before me in the presence of my enemies. You anoint my head with oil. My cup runneth over. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life, and I will dwell in the house of the Lord. The utter mention of this word sends chills through my bones. Failure. I think my second grade teacher, Miss E.P. Williams, drove that word in me. She was one of my earliest mentors that demanded excellence from her students. If you did not do your best, or you were being a nuisance in the class, she would take a ruler and turn it sideways and crack your knuckles. It only would take about 1 or 2 times before you got the message. After that, you would go home and learn those spelling words or arithmetic so that you would not get the knuckle treatment. But such a lesson has driven me my entire life. Failure is something you should never accept. Yeah, everybody's gonna fail from time to time. That's life. Adversity is important, but the true measure of a man is how does he take that failure and bounce back. When I failed courses in physics and English during my University of Tennessee years, I had no support to know that I could take them over again. I was embarrassed and devastated. I eventually found out that even smart guys falter, and I would take those classes later, having gained knowledge and experience to know that I could do it and eventually become that engineer. Fear failure, but embrace the process of what failure can lead to as well. It can either be good or bad. Always go with the good. Lastly, but not least, is the commitment to your goal. When you're committed to something, there has to be an internal promise you make to yourself that says, come hell or high water, I am gonna make it happen. Yes, you can accomplish anything you want to, but you've got to know that anything worth achieving will likely not be easy. It will take all your will, courage, and fortitude to reach the end goal. No one knows what you have gone through. It's easy to get discouraged, but you've got to keep telling yourself, I am committed to this and I can do it. You may even have to cut people off because you don't need the negativity. You may have to be selfish in a sense of being totally focused on self. If you make that promise of commitment, you might as well reap the rewards of your labor. That is the ultimate prize, right? So if you speak it into existence, know that your mettle will be tested, shaped, and forged in experiences that could challenge your existence and possibly take you over the edge. Negativity such as doubt and the impossible will always creep up to try you. Know that failure will be waiting for you at the door, telling you to settle for less than what you ought to have or be. Remember that something will always try to drive you off a beaten path, hoping you will never finish the race. Never let anyone tell you that you want too much or that your aim is too high. With friends like that, who needs enemies? Show me a man that thinks like that, and surely I say he is poor. Show me a man that aims high and reaches for the stars, and surely I say he is rich. Poverty or wealth should not be simply measured by monetary gains, but by the richness of his soul and mind. And most importantly, always stay supremely confident in who you are. For if you don't think the best of yourself and live by that, who will? Speak it into existence and challenge yourself to make it a reality.